Yeah, let's go talk to that deer before we get too far away. Stay back, Spirit. I have nothing you want. Keep your wits about you, boy. I'm just an old woman. Oh, so you are. My apologies. One can never be too careful traveling about the mountainside. Plenty of tricksters like to disguise themselves and play pranks on me. I mean no disrespect. None taken. What are you doing out in the cold anyway? I've come to collect ice berries for my brother's coronation. He's going to be crowned king of the whole realm today. King? According to whom? Well, according to him, I suppose. He's the eldest after all. He says it's his destiny. Some days I'm not so sure, though. I feel like I should be doing more than just tending to the castle's gardens. So he gets to be king and you get to pick berries till your fingers fall off? It's not so bad. I like the crisp air and fresh snow. There's something magical about the wilderness. But listen to me prattle on. I still need to collect the ice berries my brother requested. He's very particular when it comes to, well, anything really. A job shared is done twice as quickly. Let me help you before the frost bites. Why, thank you. I'm getting a bit chilly. I only need a few more ice berries. Okay. Need a little bit more. Up on the slopes of the mountain, you spot a camp of dangerous-looking fur trappers, sharpening their spears. No need to bother them just yet. Okay. No less crudely constructed than the other snowmen that surround it. Something is nevertheless off about this one in particular. Whether it's too many limbs, the stitched mouth, or the trio of antlers, it irresistibly beckons your touch. And as soon as your fingertips touch its cold surface, it falls completely to pieces. Okay, we got our fast travel point. Any luck finding those ice berries? Just look at the wonderful bounty you gathered. He gladly takes the berries from you and places them in his pack. There's no problem at all. The stroll through the brisk air was quite refreshing. If only my brother cared so much for the beauty of this place. He's always been content saying and missed the nobles of his court. I should like to meet this brother of yours. He sounds quite the ruler. Well, why didn't you say so? I'd be happy to invite you to the castle. The buck slips his arm out towards you in gentlemanly fashion. You can take it with your garnered claws and nod. Let's be off then, shall we? Oh my. The prince isn't accepting peasant complaints. Scat, you old crow. How dare you speak to my guest with that tone? Apologies, sir. I didn't know she was your guest. Don't apologize to me. I'm not the one you disrespected. Writer, I'm sorry, miss. What I meant to say was, welcome to the court of the magnificent and beloved stag. Louder and with more prompt, please. I hereby welcome thee, Lady of, the Swamp. Lady of the Swamp, to celebrate with us on the most auspicious day, the bequeathing of the kingdom, and to he whose antlers reach the highermost clouds and shine with justice, and that'll do just fine. Carry on guarding. Right. The buck turns to you and nods to his pack. I've got to prepare these berries for the ceremony, and you do some final pruning in the hedge maze. I'll meet you inside. Sitting upon a lofty throne, the prince looms over his court of nobles. Not too many tiny cakes, they can't outnumber the tarts. And whereas my useless brother with those berries, everything must be perfect for my coordination. I think I saw him slick off to the garden, sire, no doubt shrinking his royal duties once again. Ingrate, I do ever so much for that little rascal, and all he does is bother to show me he doesn't even bother to show me the respect I deserve. I should have him exiled long ago, if only he weren't my brother. A fantastic idea, Your Grace. He should be shown the door as soon as the ceremony is concluded, I assure you. Ah, my days of sharing the throne with that dandelion are almost over. It is best he lives out his days on the mountain. Lord knows that's where he belongs. The stag's eyes narrow suspiciously at a cluster of nobles. Speaking of my brother, have you three taken care of the statue in the hedge maze? Oh, yes, your majesty, just as you requested. Don't you worry yourself, my lord. The nobles exchange hurried whispers, but you can't hear them clearly. I wonder what all that fuss has to do with the measly statue. Something doesn't feel right. Perhaps I ought to take a look at it myself. One of them dusts masonry from their cloak. Huh. Invited her. Rude. Find the statue in the hedge maze. Hi. Mind me just taking care of some last-minute pruning. Here it is. The foot of the marble statue is cracked and weather-beaten plaque. You wipe snow from the engraved slab, find large chunks have been hewn away from it, only a few words still legible. Stag. Rightful heir and ruler. Revealed. The choice of words is quite convenient for a royal aspirant. I wonder what the rest of the story has to say about the matter. You pick a tuft of colorful fur caught on the statue's raised hoofs. Looks to be from a very expensive piece of clothing. The nobles of the court seem to have nothing but time on their hands. Perhaps some of them know the secrets of this statue. Okay. Interrogate the nobles of the court. How am I supposed to interrogate them? Truth serum. Oh, what's that? Is that a crow's foot? Yep, crow's foot. Okay, let's try this truth serum on these guys. You stick your syringe in a plump macaron and offer it up to the nearest nobleman on a silver platter. He pops it in his mouth without even looking at you. The broken plaque in the hedge maze. Would you happen to know anything about it? Noble's eyes flutter as they speak, as if conversing with themselves. Can you believe the audacity of the snag? He broke it. He should have been the one disposing of the pieces. Well, I couldn't be bothered to do such menial labor. Can you imagine? Ugh. So anyways, I just tossed the piece to the southeast corner of the maze. Next time we should get some of the servants to do his dirty work. You snap your finger at the noble, they stare at you for a moment before returning to their wine as if nothing had happened. I need some more of the vines, I guess. You slather a cracker with the liver pate and drizzle some scintillating serum over top. Soon enough, the nobleman licks his lips and indulges himself. What do you know about the statue in the hedge maze? The nobleman scratched his chin absent-mindedly. Oh, you mean the one Snag smashed up? I'm not really supposed to talk about it, but he told me to get rid of some chunks of marble. Terribly heavy lifting. Anyway, I just left behind one of the wooden benches in the maze. Did he really expect me to lug it all the way out of the castle? You snap your fingers and the noble immediately goes back to his sake as if nothing had happened. Hey, I gotta go get some vines. Okay, compel the last group. The noblewoman snaps her fingers at you as you pass by. You there, freshen up my wine. Nodding politely, you dip your syringe into her glass and squeeze out a good amount of pure purple liquid. She sips it with her nose high in the air. There's a broken plaque in the hedge maze. What do you know about it? The plaque? It's the last time I helped out the snag, I'll tell you that much. She was whining about prophecy or some such nonsense, told me to get rid of a piece of plaque for him. I tore my finest winter muff trying to get to grips with the damnable thing. So I left it under the big tree in the middle of the hedge maze. You snap your fingers, and the noblewoman makes a disappointed frown. She pulls up her collar in a huff and rejoins the party as if nothing happened. Okay, do the hedge maze then. Hey, under a wooden bench, I know there was one up here. Just as described, the piece of the plaque seems to have been kicked under the bench and forgotten. Okay, and the tree of the center of the maze. Buried beneath a heap of snow, you finally manage to find a hunk of stone. Take it. And in a tree at the center of the maze. Wedged under the tree's forking roots lies a jagged piece of stone. It looks to be the last piece of plaque. I'll have to reassemble them with the stag statue if I want to make sense of this. The nobles of the court seem to have nothing but time on their hands. Perhaps some of them know the secrets of this statue. You snap the broken chunks of marble back into place. Despite some marring on the surface, you could read the plaque quite clearly. The buck and the stag, the tale of two princes. Only one destined to be the rightful heir and ruler. The king will be revealed by the touch of the truest crystal flower. Looks like the stag is trying to cut his dear brother out of the birthright. I wonder what's the business with this crystal flower. The buck knows his way around the garden. Perhaps he has some idea. Flick his ears. The young gardener puts up his pruning shears down at your approach. Hello again, lovely day for a walk at the hedge maze. Granted you didn't get lost, say you wouldn't happen to know anything about the crystal flower, would you? Crystal flowers? Why, they're very, very rare. It's said that they only grow in the cave at the highest peak of the mountain. According to legend, the truth of the heart is fractured at the faucets of each frosted petal. Why do you ask? No reason. I just thought I might make a nice gift for your brother's big day. Hey, you're right. That's a brilliant idea. What better gift from the court's gardener than a beautiful crystal flower? Oh, but a trek up the mountain is perilous. I don't know if I have what it takes. Nonsense. I was heading up that way anyway. You just stay close behind. Really, you'd help me. Well, all right. What are we waiting for then? Meet me out by the slopes and we'll get underway. Help the buck ascend the mountain. Okay, meet him out by the slopes. I'm not sure where that is, but we'll figure it out. There you go, Stag King of the Mountain. Okay. Hello. You see the buck hiding behind a bush, anxiously watching something up ahead. What's the matter? Did you get cold feet already? Shh, they'll hear you, look. Through the pine boughs, you can make out oh my god, I can't read. Through the pine boughs, you can make out figures moving across the snow. They covered in warm pelts and carry sharp-looking spears. The royal trappers, they'll keep my brother's court supplied with furs, but they've been out here for so long they'll hunt anything that moves. It's been a shame if those antlers of yours ended up as someone's trophy. Wait here, let me deal with them. Alright, be careful. Touch of cold. Okay, we got the touch of cold. We're gonna go chill the mountain trappers camp. You glance at the buck hiding safely behind the tree at the far side of camp. Making a raven's call, you signal for him to join you. The buck picks his way through the frozen trappers. Are they going to be okay? They might catch a case of the sniffles. Nothing nice warm bowl of soup won't fix. Come along now, we're still ways away from Mountain's Peak. I think I know a way up. I'll meet you ahead. Come join me when you're ready. Taking everything they got. Frozen treat. You never know what you're gonna need. Aww. Hi. Mountain goat. A shyer cousin of the familiar goat. You just want to be friends. I like that. Be careful. Before you stands a looming rock face. Not even the most determined climber could hope to scale it. I thought you said you knew a way up to the peak. Well, you see, this is the Great Geyser. When the air is cold enough, the water erupting from it freezes solid. I thought it might get us something to climb up. You look into the dry crater at the bottom of the sheer cliff. I don't see much erupting happening down there. It's been dormant for a few seasons now. I kind of hope we'd get lucky. I don't trust any luck that I don't make myself. You just take a moment to ponder your situation, and I have a small geysers nearby, frequently spewing steam up into the frosty air. Suppose those other water spouts all drain from the same underground source. I think you're right, they started popping up shortly after the Great Geyser fell silent. Then I wager we plug them up, we'll be able to make the big one blow its top again. Plug them with what? You turn your attention to the beating mountain goats digging for lichen nearby. Those frosty beasts look about the right diameter. Maybe I could coax one of them into position. Oh god, not the new friends. Goat perch, okay. Doesn't look too complicated. I do notice that we need more glue, which means more moo, which isn't the best thing. Okay, we got the lure the mountain goats thing. Hopefully that'll lure them. Oh, I only need one. Okay, whatever. It wasn't that hard to make. Okay, another goat. Unsuspecting goat victim. I will say it is making it a little bit easier. With the plump bodies of brain goats clogged by the small geysers, the earth beneath your feet begins to grumble. The mounted goats go wide-eyed, the pressure builds beneath them. With no other outlet, the steam rushes towards the only opening left. With a deafening boom, the long-dormant geyser erupts, sending a great spear of water high into the air. And the deluge reaches its apex, ice crystals begin forming in the mist, twinkling as they hang in the air. Bit by bit, they begin to build on each other, forming a larger and larger crystals until it forms a great column of ice, rising all the way up towards the mountain peak. Ah, I can't believe it worked. Last one to the top is a spotted fawn. To the peak. You stand at the mountain's peak, buffeted by wind and snow. Now then, where's this crystal cave you spoke of? I'm not sure. I think I could just be up ahead, but this blizzard I can hardly see my own nose. Buck jumps behind you, pointing to the frigid fog. Wait, what was that? You squint into the galloping winds, unable to see anything but white. Probably just another mountain goat. I wouldn't be so sure. When I was little, my brother told me stories of the snowkin who lived up here. He said if I ever went up to the mountain, the snowkin would blow a great blizzard down on me. He said that they turned me around and gave me false directions until I got lost and froze solid. Sounds to me like those snowkin must be some kind of guardian spirits. And they're aiming to keep people away from something. Then surely they'll know what that something is. I have a notion to find our way as they do, but it will take a considerable quantity of their essence. That sounds dangerous, but just stay put then. I'll better show... I know better than to wander blind in a snowstorm. Collect snowkin hearts from the mountain's peak, okay. You are a snowkin. A melting pot. Okay. Sure. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, yeah, we should be able to do that. I need more fairies, dang it. Okay, we got the melting pots. So, hopefully we can plow right through this. Think we can attract 2 to 1 area? Jesus. I can take a hint. Okay, we got the first one. Second one. Third one. Look, see how the snow swirls in the same direction? Maybe the snow can know the path. Here's the snow can heart. You pile the mystical snow at the buck's feet and shield it from the howling winds. The flakes drift in the air like icy glitter. Oh, come on, then. I'm getting chilly. You prod the snowdrift with a muttered invocation. Despite the chaotic storm, the snow crystals swirl into icy ribbons and slowly trace a line up to the mountain's peak. There it goes. That must be the way to the crystal cave. He takes off after the trail like a shot. You hike up your skirt and do the best to keep up in the dense snow. Shall we? His face falls as you arrive at another sheer cliff. I don't understand. The snow stops here, but there's anything more than rocks. Did the snowkin mislead us? Are we lost? I don't want to freeze solid. There's no dead end. Look. You gesture to the cliff where the eddies of swirling snow quickly gather. Within moments, the entire wall of rock is buried under fresh white powder. You reach out a clawed finger and touch the pure snow. It melts away to reveal a glittering opening in the stone. The crystal cave! You did it! Let's go in before we freeze to death. I'm certain the crystal flower must be inside. Yeah, let's go into the cave. And use our trusty shears, apparently. Oh dear, look at all these flowers. I didn't think there'd be so many. I'm going to pick a whole bouquet. You stop the precious youth with a quick tug and mutter under your breath. Hold on, the prophecy mentioned the one true crystal flower. The other flowers must be deception meant to trap full hardy would-be kings. Prophecy, what are you talking about? I only mean to say that we should find the best single flower for your brother's coronation. Good point. Quality over quantity. And I think I see one just right over there. It's this one. It's perfect. Just look at the refraction of the petals and the frosting on the leaves. Oh, but I seem to have forgotten my pruning shears back at the castle. What would do the honors? I don't want to damage it. You snip the bristle stem of the flower. Careful not to touch it directly. Prophecies can be nasty stuff to stick your fingers in. The buck holds the flower aloft, inhaling the bloom's magical aura. Wow, smells just like powdered snow on a fresh pine tree. The moment is interrupted by the shrill cries of aristocrats clamoring against each other. I found them over here, my lord. Oh, okay. Like, they just all of a sudden appeared here? That's, like, kind of weird, but whatever. In a rush of colorful fabrics, fancy hats, you find yourself surrounded by nobles, and a stag steps out from the mist looking irate. Like, those giant snow clap machines outside couldn't handle these nobles. Like, really? After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me, brother. The young prince blinks in confusion. What are you doing here? Have I offended you somehow? Usurper, you thought you could slip off when I wasn't looking and steal the crown from me? You think I don't know about the prophecy of the crystal flower? What does everyone keep talking about prophecy? I picked a flower as a gift for you, brother. Fool, only a king can choose the true crystal flower, and you are not the king. Stag reaches down at his feet and plucks the closest flower. See, only I can't. Oh, jeez. The stag never finishes his sentence. His defiant pose forever imprisoned inside solid ice. Oh, my brother, what have you done? You give the mystified buck a reassuring pat on the back as the nobles gather closer. The true king has been revealed indeed. King, you mean me? You are the prince after all, and I suppose the prophecy was pretty clear. Magic flowers are seldom wrong at this sort of thing. And if you tend to your kingdom with the same care you tend to your garden, you'll do just fine. The ring of nobles crowded around the buck. You know, I never cared much for the stag myself. I think the new ruler will shake things up a bit. You excuse yourself as they bow and praise the confused lad. Long live the king. Passing the frozen stag, your eye catches on something sticking out of the permafrost. You reach down to pick out a shard of translucent ice, not careful not to cut yourself on the sharp edges. Despite the warmth of your palm, it does not melt the soul of the stag. The royal crystal. Well, we completed the stag, so that's good. What does everybody still need? We got pretty much all the recipes, so we're getting close. So, alchemical alloy, crystal newt, golden egg, okay. We need more crystal newt spines and alchemical alloy. Which, we need silver fox fur and a puzzle box, which we can probably make. We just need another changeling root. We'll go work on the hawk, I guess. Okay, we're going to need another one, so we might as well do that while we're up here. So we need the snow and that. Okay. Okay, we got all we need to help the Rumpling craft an alchemical stone. From God knows how long that footage was ago. Probably not that long with the editing and everything, but oof, some of these quests take a little bit for prep work, I will say that.